White noise, presumably by LogicandSarcasm. I was searching online one day for a few games that I might want. I was still a Pokémon fan at the time and wanted to play a few Pokémon games. It made me feel like a real Pokémon trainer, as ridiculous as that sounds. That's when I came across Pokémon Yellow at a very reasonable price. The guy said he had only played it a few times but needed the money, so he was selling his old games. I told him I'd buy it. As soon as it came in the mail, I went into my room and stuffed it in my cartridge. I started playing for a while. It started out as any normal game would. I was huddled in my room for a few days with this game. I then came across Seafoam Island. There I got to fight a Golbat. I never thought much of actually wanting a Golbat, but I decided, what the hell, I'm open-minded. So I battled the Golbat, which started out normally. It then used an attack called Screech. What was strange about it though, it wasn't your normal sound wave though. It was literally ear-splitting. As soon as it went off, it emitted a high-pitched irritating noise that was too much for me to handle. I turned off my game thinking it must be a glitch. I turned it back on a few seconds later and went to my last save point. I challenged Golbat to battle again. It made the same ear-splitting sound with Screech. I couldn't take it anymore and turned it off. After a few days of breaking from the game due to paranoia, I decided to turn the game on again. Instead of the usual logo, a Golbat popped on the screen. The text said, "Golbat used Screech." It emitted that same ear-splitting noise it did before. I tried to turn it off, but it wouldn't stop. It had finally stopped of its own accord. At this point, I wondered, who did this to this game? I went to school normally. I was eating lunch with a few of my friends. All of a sudden, I heard it. That ear-splitting noise emitting in my head. I seemed to be the only one that heard it. It was starting to hurt my ears, so I ran out of the cafeteria covering my ears. It stopped when I got to the bathroom. I looked in the mirror, wondering if I was going insane. This happened over the next few days at random places. I wanted to put an end to this. When I got home, I laid on bed trying to figure out what to do about this. I looked at the game intently. Would smashing it to bits solve it? I put the thought aside as I took a nap. I had a very vivid dream. Golbat popped into my head. The Pokemon text popped up saying Golbat used Screech. I was awoken by that ear-splitting screeching again. It was more powerful than ever. I wanted it to end. I did whatever I could, drowning it out with music, making as much noise as I could. My parents weren't home at the time, so yeah. Anything to stop the irritating screech. It then stopped. I looked at my game and turned it on. It went to my last save point, and I met up with Golbat again. I yelled at it, "Go away! Why won't you leave me alone?" Golbat then said, "I won't stop. You trainers make me sick. You always think you can have us fight for your amusement. We are not circus animals. I won't stop until you die. Once you die, the pain will stop." Golbat then emitted another screech. I wanted it to stop. I was too proud to consider suicide as my only true option out of this. No way, I was too strong for that. So I took out a hammer and went to my room with it. As I got closer to the game, the screech got higher and higher pitched. If I didn't stop, my ears would explode. Was he actually trying to kill me? I felt my ears bleed. So with all of my might, I used the hammer to smash my Game Boy. It stopped, and I fainted from exhaustion. When I woke up, I hear no more noise. I thank God for this. I then hear a sound effect coming from my Game Boy. Golbat was there on the screen frozen. The text on it read, "I'll be back." I smashed the Game Boy once and for all and threw it away. The game was ruined, so I wondered what he meant. Could there be more copies like this out there? I hope there is not. Then again, I wouldn't put it past whoever did this to spread the torture everywhere. That was white noise. Final thoughts? Fuck you. That's it for this creepypasta and the 6th day of the 3rd 7 Days of Creepypasta special. Tune in again tomorrow when we tackle another highly requested story with The Umbreon. If you want to write your own story, help Peer edit a story, or even just read the stories early, check out the description where you'll find a link to the Creepypasta section of my forum. You'll also find a link to the playlist of every Creepypasta reading I've done. If you're interested in keeping up on my blog posts, join the Facebook fan page linked below. Remember that if you want your story to be read on the show, you must stay active on your post on the forum, as well as read the forum rules. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, sweet dreams.